Hello everybody, this is the top-down analysis of the Forex market for the month of August. So here for the monthly top-down analysis, we're coming from the very high time frame. So we're looking here to the monthly chart and the weekly chart just to see, I mean, what should the next months or the next year or even the next years, what price action could evolve that offers opportunities, right? So let's start with the euro dollar. So the euro dollar had this huge down run. It actually broke a couple of important levels, right? I mean, this quadruple or triple bottom, it broke it and it went right into the very big number, the par level, the one. And what we thought could happen here is actually that we get a stop run move. This is not a stop run move. It just tested the level. A stop run move should have brought us down here. So we can actually see here now in hindsight that this level held, right? It broke these levels, well, that's clear. And then the par level, well, that held. It's a very important level. If that level breaks, well, then we should really see the euro dollar at around 80 cents. So what we saw instead, because we were heavily overextended, right, from the moving averages, well, we had these two scenarios. Either it breaks and then runs, or we see this snap back to moving averages. And that's what we saw here, right? A snapback, well, the typical snapback is back to the 21. So that's what we see here. And it's not only the 21, well, it's actually now here getting pitched higher with the 8, right? So the 8 moving averages act as support here and price goes higher. And we're back into the range basically, right? So we're currently here more or less at mid-range. And we have to see what happens now from here. Now on the weekly chart we get more detail and we can see here how this was the first leg, right? Down here we projected the snapback well into the 21 of the monthly and the 200 here of the weekly chart. The first leg didn't bring us here. The second leg well shied away from the level, but now only the third leg got back to the 200. So that's not a very strong momentum, right? This snapback. It could have been one leg that brings us up here, and we can see that the momentum is kind of waning, right? I mean, each consecutive leg is a little bit less pronounced. So now the question is, what is going to happen? We're back into the range, and whenever price is in a range, well, and we are at mid-range, well, it tends to test the borders, right? So we could actually come back and test up here. Then it needs to go beyond the 200. 200 is here resistance, so we need a clear price close with a weekly bar. And it needs to go beyond 21. Currently it's pushing hard, right, against the 21. So what we could actually see is we could see a drop, which makes then a higher, this is a low, which then makes a higher low. And then we could see a second leg on a monthly chart that could bring us up here. So that's kind of a range play, right? We have both scenarios. One is to get back to the upper range, and the second one is, well, this was a pullback into this overall downtrend, a good pullback, right, that goes beyond the 21 and meets the 200, and then we're actually seeing that it dips back down. Well, the first indication is when it makes a new low, right? As long as we don't have a new low, well, this scenario is not yet becoming kind of active, right? It becomes active if this low gets broken. Then we might actually see, well, then we have got a higher low, right? And then we might actually see whether there's downside momentum. Currently, we're kind of a little bit stuck in the range. Now let's have a look at another currency pair, the euro yen. So the yen overall across all pairs is very weak. It's actually the weakest currencies of all. We can see here how there's a nice uptrend, so weak, right? Weak yen and strong euro, and it has broken to a new high. We had this as a magnet level, right? And it has reached it. It's a stop run level coming here from this pronounced high. It has reached it, and this is a stop run move what we see right here. Well, now the next level comes into closer proximity, which is up here. That's the next magnet level. So we might actually see a pullback from here, and then it could actually move higher. So it's very bullish here. Well, bearish overall for this yen pair, but as well for all other yen pairs. Now another euro pair is the euro Swiss. So here the euro is is weaker. So the Swiss franc is actually the strongest currencies of all, and like in all cross currencies with the Swiss, it looks very bullish for the Swiss. So here euro Swiss, we've seen here on a weekly chart, we've seen an S1 pattern that is just running its course, right? I mean, these are not pronounced stop run levels, it only has one, which is down here. So should we get there, this is a big number, should we get there and beyond, well then it should develop quite some momentum, similar momentum to what we have seen here. It's still not very strong. Now overall on the monthly chart, well, we see how what tremendous opportunity the Euro Swiss has. It has been in a strong downtrend for, well, since 2008, since the great financial crisis, it looks like, right, when that started. These are the great stop run levels, and these are just precursors of a bigger move lower. So we were very bullish for the Swissy, and here as well, despite the euro being strong, well, the Swiss is much stronger than the euro. Now let's have a look at the CAD, like euro CAD. The euro CAD is kind of in an overall turnaround formation, reversal formation. We can see here we've got a triple top and the lower high here, and it's currently putting in a lower high on the right side. We had this big move down. We were hoping that we get a stop run below these levels, or we didn't get that. We got a pullback, right? So now we've kind of a rounded top, formation, and I'm expecting that we actually don't make a new high, but that we break a lower and develop further momentum to the downside. So we need to break this low, this bar, daily bar, and then we need to break this bar, and then we're in free fall territory, right? There's no resistance in the way down to the most recent low, which is this one. So there's bearish opportunity. Currently we're still above the 200 moving average. It's still support, right? It has broken it, now it's sitting on top of it. But we want to see that the bulls hand in and the bears take over, bring in price, well, a bar close, first a bar close, right, below the 200, and then as well a bar open and a bar close below the 200. So let's see how that develops over the next coming weeks and months. Now the euro odd, the odd is very weak. This is the Corona spike high, and it looks like the bulls are shooting for this level. This is a very, very strong stop run level, right? A pronounced level with a long wick, plus it's a big number, the 2 with 4 zeros. So this is a level, this is a magnet level, and we're actually nothing in the way, right? So we can actually see now here how price could get to this this level, this cluster level, with a lot of momentum. Overall, this is an S1 pattern, this is the consolidation, this is a momentum move, right, ending with a spike high. And this is the pattern, and that's basically, that was the entry signal, and now we're running, these are minor stop run levels. Well, this is the biggest one. Should that break, we should actually see a big move higher as well. But on the way there, nothing in the way, no resistance in the way, and it looks pretty good. So here, this high now, well, today markets is closed. Today is Sunday, so the next week starts tomorrow. This is an important level where we're actually waiting. It's a stop run level as well. We want this to be broken higher, and then we could actually see some early momentum already on the weekly chart. It might be a great currency pair to trade for the week. Let's have a look at a next one, US Swiss. So let's come back to the Swissy. Again here bearish, like bullish for the Swiss, right? Overall, well, that's a very bearish chart. I've talked about that for quite some time over the last couple of years. This is an S1 pattern, right? This is a momentum move. This is an S1 pattern. It has triggered several times. The original stop was never taken out, right? So it just came back beyond beyond the flat, then rebroke, came back beyond the flat, rebroke. This is kind of the last coming back to the 200 moving average, and it has created another S1 in one time frame lower on the weekly chart, and it has already broken lower. So here as well, stop run level, there's great bullish, bearish potential here for the next 1 or 2 years to come. So we might have a great currency pair here to trade for quite some while. Now let's have a look at US CAD. So the CAD is surprisingly weak as well. Let's have a look here. This is an S1 pattern, right, on the weekly chart, and it's just about to trigger. I mean, next week with a new bar coming up, we want to see this to be broken higher, and that's a pretty good S1 pattern with 3 stop run levels. This is another big stop run level in one time frame higher, and that's a magnet level, right? This is where price is drawn to. It's a double level, so even more important and even stronger. And we could get here. There's a big number as well. Price should get well beyond, right, somewhere in this area. We had a big move before. This can be seen as well as an overall consolidation. It's not very clear what it is, but it is a consolidation, and it's a trend following consolidation, right? Which means that, well, we can actually look for a move like that, and that would bring us well above price action. We can see it here. So very bullish. We could see that coming up next week, or whenever a weekly bar goes up above that would be a great opportunity as well to trade the lower time frames, right? Very bullish outlook here. Now odd Swiss, so the Swissy again, very trendy. Here we've got a stop run level, pronounced wick. It's shooting for that level, right? We might actually get, because we're already a bit away from the moving average, the 21 as here, right? As here we came back, so it might move maybe another week lower, and then it looks like we're getting another pullback before we can actually make a big run like that, and it could be as volatile and as strong like that. Now let's just zoom out to get the overall big picture. Well, we haven't been there, right, for the last 20 years. So breaking to a new low, well, that would be a really important low, and we can capitalize on that, right? It could really develop nice follow through to get there. Magnet level is push to and then push through, right? That's what magnets do. Let's have a look at CAD Swiss, or another Swissy pair. Again, a very bearish chart, bullish for the Swissy. That was an S2. Now we're at an important level, just about to break to a new low, where we want to get that confirmed, right? And here on the monthly, on the monthly we can see that again here we had an S1 pattern. There was a momentum move. This is the pattern breakout activity, and then it took quite some time to produce follow through, but eventually it did, breaking to a new low. Again, it took time, right? It came back, tested the flat, which is not unusual, and now it's breaking to a new low. Whenever it takes time to develop momentum, well, it's unusual to see big momentum to follow, big and pronounced momentum, consistent momentum to follow a little bit later. It's the market is waiting to get ripe, and then all this builds energy into the chart, right? So I'm actually expecting a nice move lower here too, and we could see a move like that, right? Because there's a lot of energy stored here. So pound CAD weakness, and again Swiss strength. We can read here out of the chart. Now let's have a look at the last one, which looks interesting on these very high time frames. It is this one here, New Zealand, again a Swissy against the Kiwi, a very strong downtrend. It's moving, right? And here we see why it's moving. Well, it got attracted to the magnet level, and we are just there, right? I've drawn it the level here, so we're just there. When the week starts, let's see what happens. We might even get a gap, or we might get a gap, like a gap higher. So we might see a pullback before this level gets broken. Sometimes the bear need to draw in more energy, and that happens with a pullback, right? And then we could see a strong and forceful stop run move breaking this level. And let's have a look. Well, again, right, this is going, this is really low. Like the Swissy is a very strong currency, and people in Switzerland should be really happy because their currency is getting stronger and stronger, and they can import more and more great goods for them relatively low prices, right? So this is how it looks like. We've got some immediate opportunities when we look at these higher time frames, and we've got some of other currencies. I haven't shown you all of them, obviously, but some of those currencies are sideways, a little bit like the dollar, euro dollar, which needs where the market needs to tell us where the direction is going. That doesn't prevent from trading lower time frames. It just says that the higher time frames, monthly and weekly, doesn't really support one direction clearly, right? Here, for example, with the euro dollar, well, it could go both directions. And some other charts, well, we don't have a clear directional bias. It's still tradable in lower time frame side if the opportunity comes up. Thank you.